Number 240 in the indicator range is Bartleby, a strange and quick movie running at 78 minutes that tackles some really interesting ideas from a different angle. We follow the character of Bartleby as he makes it to a town. He kind of puts his stuff away in a locker, goes for a job, gets the job and begins his life anew, kind of. He seems to have a new ethos, something that a kind of mantra that he practices a lot. He's very polite, he turns out well, he's there for his job, but just sometimes he's just not interested. And his catchphrase becomes, "I'd prefer not to do that," as he just politely declines doing his actual job.
Are you mad? What do you mean, prefer not to?
Or the parts of it he just doesn't want to do. And his boss is becoming more and more exasperated watching this man who just very politely declines tasks. And we kind of follow this character trying to figure out what exactly is going on. How he refuses to accept anything that he just doesn't want to accept. The world is there. It's not a place where you're forced to do what you want and you have a choice, and he is exercising that right, much to the chagrin of almost everyone else in the office and the exasperation of his boss, who just cannot understand how someone can just choose like this to not do it.
With the three of us, it'll be faster.
I don't feel I can. Just at the moment.
And I feel like it's a movie that tackles depression, anxiety, unease within the modern world really well. It shows a man who is almost going into a depression, who is not himself, who doesn't feel particularly outgoing, extrovert, wanting to interact with people. He feels at odds with the world around him, and this is almost his last stand. And nobody around him looks at him in any way as someone that can be helped. He's an annoyance. He is someone that just causes more work for everybody else.
Let's get going on these new accounts. I want to show you what I want done.
I don't think I'd like to just at the moment.
Here we have a man who is quite seriously not quite himself, and nobody will action on that. They can see that this person is doing something very different, and rather than listening, talking, they talk at him, they tell him, they try to force him to do things, but at no point does anybody sit down and interact like a human being. And I love that kind of aspect of the movie. And although it does become a little bit repetitive at points, it's all for the single purpose of driving home this thematic, which I think is excellently done. The performances are great, the situations are interesting, the black humour is more than apparent. There's several moments where I just chuckled at it, and it has a darkly bleak ending at the tail end of this one as well.
Look here, would you come into my office for a moment? I'm not going to ask you to do anything you would prefer not to do. I just want to talk to you.
I mean, it is 78 minutes and it zips by. It's funny, it's engaging, it's uniquely different in the way it kind of tackles the subject matter. And I kind of appreciate that about it. Bartleby was really fun, really interesting, and like I said, unique. I can't think of anything else like it whatsoever, or anything that tackles the thematics that it has in such an interesting manner. Do yourself a favour and pick this oddity up, or at least watch it if you get the chance to. It's really entertaining. But hey, if you'd prefer not to, I can completely understand that. So let me know your thoughts on Bartleby in the comment box below, whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. Can't wait to hear your comments on this one. As always, there is more content up here where you can see more of my stuff if you are interested. In the description box below are links to the Patreon membership program and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.